Hello, everybody. It's ERG Apollo, and welcome to a thing that is happening. I didn't really know how to introduce it, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Castlevania Symphony of the Night. We are playing the PlayStation 1 version. For the purpose of this Let's Play, why am I not playing the Saturn version, despite the fact that it has more content? Well, because I can't actually seem to get my controller to work with the Saturn emulator. Hell, this video might not even go up if I can change that. Anyways, welcome to what is going to be the first inaugural Let's Play of the brand new channel. Like I said in the update video, chose Symphony of the Night because it's quick. Well, not quick, but it's an easy game for me to sit down and, kind of enjoy. So yeah. I'm also emulating it because my PC's been having issues with, memory and resetting USB ports, so I'm going with the emulator so that it doesn't happen to cut off my capture card. So, but yeah, that's kind of really it. I'm using RetroArch with the PCSX rearmed R22 core, I think that's what the window is telling me. I don't remember what the name is. So hopefully that won't cause any weird issues. And since we're playing the emulated PS1 version, we're gonna get all that fun voice acting that you guys love so much. Where is my soda? I need to take a drink. I'm also not wearing headphones right now, so hopefully audio bleed isn't an issue. But hey. Oh god. I haven't played a version with the CG in it in so long. Because in the Xbox release, they cut the CG for Symphony of the Night out. They cut the CGI of the game out to reduce file size so that it could meet Microsoft's strict file size limits for Xbox Live Arcade titles back in the day. And that's what this is. So if you've only ever played the Xbox 360 version of this game for some reason, here you go. You're not missing much, really. Now loading. Oh yeah, you can. You can actually. I discovered this playing on the Saturn version earlier today, but you can fuck with the load screens. Anyways, Bloodlines. What is this? We're not playing the Sega Genesis game. Actually, the Bloodlines thing is actually a mistranslation of what should say Rondo of Blood, because at the time, the Americans, at the time of this game's release, we didn't actually have Rondo of Blood. We didn't actually see Rondo of Blood till 2007 when it was remade for PSP. But we'll talk more about that during the boss fight, because
Die, monster. You
don't belong in this world.
It was not by my hand that I once
again given flesh. I was called here by humans who wish to pay me tribute.
Tribute? You steal men's souls and make them your slaves.
Perhaps the same could be said of all religions.
Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you. I promise I won't do that for the whole game. I can't make promises. But yeah, so Symphony of the Night opens with a really interesting recap of Richter's battle against Dracula. I already fucked this up really bad. I'm not a speedrunner, so obviously I'm gonna fuck this up. Depending on how you do this fight, you actually could, a la carte could start with different stats or different items. I'm not really going for anything specifically, because I can handle myself pretty well in Symphony. But the thing, what I was saying earlier, do I read the opening text crawl? Do I? Yes, I do. I'm gonna wait for more of it to come. It was Richter Belmont, the legendary vampire hunter, who succeeded in finally ending the menace of Count Dracula, Lord of the Vampires, who had been brought back from the grave by the dark priest Shaft. However, one night, 4 years later, under the glare of a full moon, Richter mysteriously vanished. With no idea of where to begin her search, Maria Renard set out to look for him. It was then fate intervened. Castlevania, this castle of Dracula, which is rumored to appear once every century, suddenly materialized from out of the mist, as if to show her the way. Meanwhile, powerful forces were struggling for the soul of a man named Alucard, the very same Alucard who had teamed up with Trevor Belmont to battle his immortal father, Count Vlad Tepes Dracula. Alucard, in order to purge the world of his own cursed bloodline, had submerged his vampiric powers and entered into what was supposed to be an eternal slumber. But now he is awake, and aware of the evil once again at work in his world. The time has come for the forces of good and evil to engage in their ancient battle. Dracula's castle beckons for you, and no man can say who shall emerge victorious. Okay, all jokes aside, the last part of that text scroll literally gives me goosebumps. I get so excited. You know, and I will say this. Symphony of the Night is not my favorite Castlevania game, but holy shit, it is fucking amazing! Listen, if you haven't played Symphony of the Night, please go pick up the Castlevania Requiem double pack on PS4, or if you've got the cash for it, a PS1 copy of the game, or if you've got it, just play Symphony of the Night, man. It's fucking amazing and beautiful. Look at this shit. This was 1997, and it still looks so good. In 2021, can you imagine? Just want to make sure I can. Okay, yes. Oh, there's so much to talk about in regards to Symphony of the Night. We could talk about the visuals, the story, the gameplay, the level design, the history. We'll talk about all that, but first. Oh yes. So, Symphony of the Night, you know, it's a Castlevania game, right? So of course it's gonna have amazing music, but since we didn't get Rondo of Blood over here in the States until 2007, this was the first time we had gotten a Castlevania game on a system that could handle CD quality music, and oh my god. Like, Dracula's Castle, the first area of the game, this, I mean, what a song. Like, what a song, right? Like, what a song. Level up. Beautiful. I'm loving it. I'm just, every time I play Symphony of the Night, it's like a good time. You know, it's not my favorite. In fact, it's not my favorite literally just due to the fact that the game is actually pretty easy. But that also has something to do with how I play it. So, you know. But that's the beauty of Symphony of the Night. There is so many different ways that you can approach this game. Okay, I only need one more level up. And we'll talk about a little bit how I like to play it. And for the most part, I like to punch things. Why do I like to punch things? Well, you'll see in a moment. I also level up to at least level 5 just to give myself a solid start by just killing these fishmen. But punching things is fun. We'll explain more about why when I can actually, like, kill enemies with my fists that aren't, like, the starting enemies. Should be getting a level up here pretty soon. Like, I want to say within, like, the next enemy kill. Or, I don't know. I don't know the math off the top of my head. Yeah, soon. Okay. Fuck, I was talking about, like... Okay, there we go. There it is. I was talking about, like, Rondo of Blood earlier, but yeah. So, at the time of Symphony of the Night's release, yeah, I'm not actually going to bother de-equipping anything yet, we did not actually get this game's prequel, which was Castlevania Rondo of Blood, which was released for the TurboGrafx CD, aka the PC Engine CD in Japan. I couldn't remember what the name of it was for a second. But yeah, so, and, like, the reason why we didn't get Rondo of Blood over here is probably less so had to do with the interest in the franchise, and more so had to do with the fact that the TurboGrafx 16 was, like, a failing console at this point in America. Like, it was basically dead. and the CD add-on wasn't really like a thing here either. I don't even know if it came out in America, but hang on.
Alucard, what is your business here?
I've come to put an end to this.
Still befriending mortals. I'll not ask you to return to our side, but I demand you cease your attack.
I will not.
You shall regret those words. We will meet again.
Also, it's a Metroidvania, so we lose all our shit at the start of the game. But like I was saying, I was talking about the CD add-on for the TurboGrafx, and how I don't think it was going to come out in here because it was failing. But yeah, that's like, I think that's the primary reason we didn't get Rondo of Blood proper. We did get an SNES port of the game called Dracula X, but that game sucks. It's not a good game. That's not a good game, like, at all, in my opinion. Like, it starts off good, it gets really bad. But anyways, you know, so Symphony of the Night coming out was, like, kind of a big deal. Like, a really big deal. Like, an entire genre, from this point forward, was named after the fusion of game types that Symphony of the Night was, you know, the Metroidvania. And I think that genre, you know what, people have talked about the fact that they think Metroidvania is a stupid genre. Right? Okay, sure. It sounds kind of dumb. I'll give you that. But the genre was, the genre, like, it hadn't existed proper till Symphony of the Night. And Symphony of the Night is, what? A fusion of the large, upgrade-based map exploration of a game like Metroid with the action game fundamentals of something like Castlevania. So, like, I just... It's not a bad... I don't think it's a bad term, you know? Like, I don't know, but it's whatever, man. But Symphony of the Night was a big fucking deal, and to this day is still a big fucking for, like, a lot of reasons. I mean, hell, from this point going forward, the franchise was no longer, like, action, like 2D action side-scroller, except for, like, Castlevania Chronicles and, the Adventure Rebirth. It was all about the Metroidvania stuff, which, you know, isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I do still have a very big soft spot in my heart for those old school, ridiculously difficult action games that the franchise was once known for. But hey, you know, I still like the Metroidvania stuff, and I still regard games like Order of Ecclesia, Circle of the Moon, and like Portrait of Ruin as some of my favorite games ever made. They're just really good. And the games that came from it were also incredible. Games like Axiom Verge, Chasm, Dead Cells, Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. Like, oh, we'll get to those games eventually, like later on down the line. For now, Symphony. Where the fuck do we even begin? Like, I mean, you know what? I should talk about fisticuffs and why I use them. So if you are close enough to an enemy and you punch, as you saw right there, and you punch, you'll actually, okay, that, I'm getting kind of beat up a little bit, but that's fine. Your fist will actually, like, you'll be close enough to the enemy where your fist will actually hit twice. Essentially, if you're willing to get up close and personal with your foes, you can double your damage output with whatever, like with your bare hands or whatever knuckle-based weapon you have equipped. So it's a really fun way to play the game, I find. It does require you to be really comfortable getting up close and personal with a lot of enemies. And depending on the situation, I might not always use it. Like, for instance, for the most part, I play, like, the beginning chunk of the game exclusively punching things. I mean, hell, up until, like, probably up until the Inverted Castle is when I, like, basically exclusively punch stuff, but then, okay, that's not a secret area. And then I'll use stuff like the Holy Rod, maybe. And, of course, you know, the one and only Chrysogrim, which is just a really funny fucking weapon. I'll show it off. But there's so much in Symphony of the Night that I don't think any amount of Let's Plays that I could really do on the game could properly portray exactly how many different ways you can run through this game. And, you know, I think that's a quality that runs through a lot of the Metroidvanias, especially the DS titles, because there's just so much to them, you know? And, I mean, hell, Aria on GBA kind of has glimpses of that. And I think maybe that's part of the reason why games like Circle of the Moon and Harmony of Dissonance aren't as highly regarded, but are still pretty highly regarded. I don't know. No, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. I love talking about Castlevania, so anytime I play one of these games for any YouTube channel, you'll hear me like go on some sort of tangent about any one aspect about it. I just Castlevania. You know, here's the kind of thing you want, right? Get you a man that looks at you the way I look at a Castlevania. You know what I'm saying? If there's any like kind of specific item or like thing you want me to show off over the course of this playthrough, you know, put it in the comments, hit me up on Twitter, Discord, and just let me know. And anything I can't like fit along the general route of the run, I'll do in like a bonus finale episode where it's like, hey, look at this thing you can do. It's pretty cool. Okay, I see how. See how it. Fuck, this is not going how it usually goes. This usually does not go this rough. Okay. Usually what ends up happening is Gaibin picks up Slagra, and then I just throw axes at Slagra until Slagra dies. Gaibin lands, melt with the fist, but hey, you know, I'm a little out of practice. These things happen. It's whatever. Still took care of it. Didn't need a healing item. Didn't need to save. Even though I did save. Don't know why I did. Just reflexes at this point. But you know, easy peasy, simple boss fight. Like, as you can see, you can still be quite powerful without your gear if you're willing to risk everything. I guess, you know, I should also talk about what I'm actually going to try and accomplish on this playthrough. Am I gonna go for 206% map coverage? I'll think about it. Because the thing is, like, I love playing through Symphony of the Night, and I love covering as much of the map as possible. Symphony has one of the most tedious full map coverage processes ever, and basically all of that has to do with the inverted castle, which, oops, if you didn't know about the inverted castle, I'm sorry. It's not a very well-kept secret, I'm not gonna lie. But hey. That weapon is actually weaker. I only have a sword equipped on my second hand in case I need it to break, like, a diagonal wall. That I can't hit with my fist. But yeah, the inverted castle is literally what it sounds like. It's the first castle, but upside down. It's tedious to traverse if you're going for 100%, but it's also really cool because you have all the movement upgrades, so, you know, it's kind of a neat idea. But, you know, I'm not gonna... You know, we'll talk about the inverted castle when we get there, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate it, and a lot of my issues with the inverted castle, outside of 206%, comes down to the music. Which, you know, we'll talk about my quips and quipes with the inverted castle when we get there. But for now, I think I'm gonna end the episode. You know, fought the first boss. We're making some good progress, punching things to death. Had a good time. Anyways, thank you all for watching the first episode of Symphony of the Night, and thus the first episode of a Let's Play on this new channel. Hoping for good things in the future. Please stay safe. Take care of yourselves. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.